Welcome back to Timeout Corner Talk, where baby voices spill the tea on big people drama.
And today's story? Ooh, it's messy. Teen love, a pregnancy, and parents who can't even agree if their own son is the dad.
This one's a roller coaster, Timeout fam. Let's dive in. So get this. There's this 16-year-old boy who had a girlfriend. They'd been together for a while, both teenagers figuring things out. But like a lot of young love, it didn't last. They broke up about a month ago.
Then just a few weeks later, boom. Her parents show up with news. She's pregnant. And guess what? The timeline lines up perfectly with when she was dating their son.
Oh, man. Imagine hearing that. You think you're done worrying about math homework? And now you're worrying about diapers.
His mom and dad, they panic, like full meltdown mode. They don't tell him right away. They wait a couple of days before breaking the news.
So they finally tell him. And what does he say? Nope, not mine. I never did that with her. What?
Dad's not buying it. He knows his son is, let's say, not totally innocent. The kid had even asked for protection before, so Dad figures, come on, you had to be doing something.
But the boy doesn't budge. He admits he cheated on her, yeah, but swears he never actually had any hanky-panky with her. Ever. And he's sticking to that story like glue.
He even explains what they did do, and let's just say, in his words, there was no way it could make a baby. Too much information? For sure. But he looked serious.
TMI, yeah, way too much. But Mom? She's not convinced for a second. She was a teen mom herself at 17, and she thinks history is repeating itself.
She tells her husband he's part of the problem, that he's enabling boy culture by believing their son instead of facing reality.
Then the big showdown. Both families sit down. The boy, his ex, her parents, his parents. And of course it's awkward and heated.
Her parents insist it's his baby. The mom agrees with them, already planning support and money. But the boy, he snaps. He's angry, swearing it's not his.
He even says their intimacy was so unsatisfying that he never wanted to go further. Yikes. Brutal thing to admit in front of parents.
Dad finally steps up and says, nope, no decisions until there's proof. DNA test or nothing.
But here's the twist. The girlfriend's parents refuse. They say testing before the baby's born could be dangerous, even though modern tests are safe.
So now the family is stuck in limbo. Mom's furious at Dad for being in denial. Dad's furious at Mom for throwing their son under the bus. And the boy's left in the middle, with no way to prove his innocence until after the baby's born.
I don't know, Milo. I'm with the mum on this one. Teens lie all the time. If she says it's his baby, I kinda believe her.
But Luna, you can't just accuse someone without proof. That's not fair. You don't ruin a kid's life based on a hunch.
But if he is lying, then Mom's the only one facing reality. She knows what happens when teens play grown-up games.
Or maybe she's projecting her past onto her son. Just because it happened to her doesn't mean it's happening to him.
Okay, but Dad isn't perfect either. He basically dumped all the talks with the other family on his wife. That's not teamwork.
Yeah, that part's true. Even if you believe your kid, you've got to stand by your partner in those tough talks.
So what you're saying is, everybody's kinda the jerk here.
Exactly. Everyone's losing their cool and the baby isn't even here yet.
You know what this feels like, Milo? When kids argue over who broke the toy, and no one admits it until the teacher shows the cameras.
Yeah, but imagine being blamed for breaking the toy and you weren't even in the room. That's what this kid's dealing with.
Except it's not a toy. It's a baby. Way bigger deal.
Exactly. That's why you need evidence before you punish someone. You don't ground a kid without proof, and you definitely don't make them a dad without it.
Okay. But sometimes the obvious answer is the answer. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
Or it could be a goose. Ever think of that, Luna?
All right, Timeout fam. You can see what I'm dealing with here. He'll defend this boy until the end of time.
Because justice matters, Luna, even in the playpen.
My verdict? Dad's the jerk. Not for believing his son, but for leaving his wife to fight alone. That's not how parenting works.
My verdict? Mom's the jerk. You don't accuse your own kid without proof. Trust, but verify. Wait for the DNA test.
So, I'm Team Mum, Milo's Team Dad. Timeout fam, you're the tiebreaker.
So what do you think, Timeout fam? Should the dad have stood with his wife or stood with his son?
Drop your verdict in the comments. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the baby drama.
More stories, more baby takes every week. We'll see you next time.